It's the New York Yankees panic alert. First time being summoned in the 2019 season. They can't hit. Strikeouts. James Paxton sucks. Wait a minute. Gleyber Torres off the top rope. Oh, man! Connects with the frog splash. Oh, my goodness. And then, wait a minute, Luke Voigt. Off the top. Oh, my goodness. He follows it up. An 8-run outburst. The Yankees win. They are now 3-4 on the season. So people probably aren't done panicking quite yet, but a lot of good signs to take from this one. But I mean, to be fair, I'm on a couple of Yankees fan groups on Facebook, and people were panicking after the first game. Somebody posted a poll that was. Should we be worried about the lack of power hitting? Because they'd only hit 2 home runs in the first game. They only scored 7 runs. And I guess also because one of them wasn't hit until the bottom of the 8th inning with Greg Bird. So it's just like, oh my God, where's the power? People are pretty funny. But then actually it got really bad after that. the power did go away very quickly after that. It's been a rough weekend and then early week playing teams that you would have ideally wanted 4-2 coming into the game today. Thinking against Baltimore and Detroit, I said they were going to be 2 of the 5 worst teams this year. They probably were last year. I don't know if Detroit. I think they were. Detroit lost. I'll look that up. But at any rate. Two very, very bad teams, and then playing Baltimore today again, their home opener, and then just a disaster of a first inning from James Paxton, having trouble with the strike zone, gives up a home run, a balk, a wild pitch scoring a run. It was getting pretty crazy, and you're quickly starting to calculate the amount of runs that the Yankees got to score, and then. Is that a thing that can happen with this team? They're just all they do is strike out, and then here we go, 8 runs, nice comeback. I was getting a little pessimistic there for sure. Not the way other Yankees fans are on the whole season, but more games triculate. Guys come back. I think Stanton's get the big one. Because we don't know how long he's going to be out. Hicks late April, we're talking. Severino early May. Sabathia sooner than that. Even like D. Gregorius, we know it's going to be midway through the year, but there's not a lot of. Nobody really knows how long Stanton's going to be out. So it's a little concerning, but there's still plenty of offense on this team, and they exuded some of that today. Man, there's some funny things that people wrote on Facebook about the Yankees. Yankees fans, rabid Yankees fans. Just some of my favorites. If Aaron Boone doesn't have a 500% record at the end of month, he gonna be on hot seat. I mean, I feel like the Yankees always make their run. I'd have to go back. I'd have season by season whether or not it's that consistent. But I feel like the Yankees always scuffle out of the gates kind of like this. It's just the injuries is what's making this one a little more unique. But the Yankees, first couple weeks, usually around 500, and then like late April, early May, I feel like is when they usually make that run. But I mean, even still, it's a long season. I mean, so many twists and turns last year, and they won 100 games. Another guy says it's just, there's just a lot of anti-Boone stuff whenever they lose. Boone better start sweating. And then DJ LeMahieu, who has hit fairly well since coming over so far from Chicago. DJ LeMahieu has to play with a bunch of morons. That's I mean, you haven't gotten to see DJ suck yet. There's got to be there's going to be stretches for that. I'm sure, that's how baseball goes. Guys don't, some guys slumps are worse than others at times, but maybe DJ LeMahieu will be the moron, later in the year to you, and everyone else will be stuck playing with him. Absolutely disgusting. 17 Ks. Most in New York Yankee history to start a season. I don't want to hear anything about first week of the season. Put the damn ball in play with a bunch of the ... Just like, but yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was pretty bad. It ended up being 18. They got that 18th strikeout in the ninth inning. So it was pretty bad, and it is he kind of combined the stats. It was the most in a season to start the season before the 18 strikeout game, and then they had the most strikeouts they've ever had in a game, which obviously means that they were still on that pace. But like I said before, Yankees usually make their run later. How long are we gonna put up with this until someone pays with their job, aka Aaron Boone, and the hitting coach? There's a lot of that being thrown around. A 2-4 record after you had a great spring training is unacceptable. It just sounds like Greg Bird to me. Never mind, it's early in the season. Every effing game counts. It's been 10 years now. Can we win a pennant, please? Wake up, Boone, and whip these millennials into shape. Because the Yankees never had a slow start before, or never were bad. Stop patting them on the back after a loss. We want wins, not coddling the players. Okay, all right, whatever, dude. Another one I like. Horrendous series loss. This team is gutless. Gutless. This isn't football, and regardless, they've shown the last couple years that they have hard. Whatever that's. I like this one. There was no like all caps. There wasn't exclamation points. There was no insults. It was just, can this get any worse? Yeah. Why don't you go back to 1991 and ask a Yankee fan if it can get any worse? Yeah, it can get worse than 2-4 to start the season. Yeah, it got worse in 1998. They started off 1-4. What a surprise! Useless. Gardner caught stealing. Useless in all caps. I mean, it's kind of tough with Gardner. I was so happy for Aaron Hicks to be leading off this season. And, obviously due to injuries, they've asked for more from Gardner than they were hoping for. And then, like Jacoby Ellsbury's still not back. I kind of wish Brett Gardner wasn't hitting leadoff as much as he is. They finally, yesterday, they switched DJ LeMahieu is going to be very much the primary leadoff hitter against lefties, at least for now. I think that's the right call, especially since he's not a moron like all these other Yankees players. Try not to dump on Brett Gardner too much. He's had a really nice run with the Yankees. Last year it was really tough with him in the lineup a lot of times. And then Andrew McCutchen they acquire, and Andrew McCutchen, at first I was like, why Andrew McCutchen? What's the fit there? And then I realized that he actually fits. He's going to fit very comfortably into the leadoff role, which is exactly what he did. But I figured this would be Aaron Hicks' time. I still think this will be Aaron Hicks' time. It's just going to be a couple weeks. So, people just chill out. Getting stomped by the AAA O's and the AAA Tigers, ... Every batter should be on notice about the trip to Scranton Wilkes-Barre, the minor league affiliate. And then stomped and everything are in all caps for this. Very important. Yankees lost games to Baltimore last year. It's okay. It's going to be okay. And they had a nice win today. These are all quotes before today's game. But my favorite was there was some old white guy that I think I was looking for it to post, but I think it got removed. But some guy was talking about he said how bad the offense is, and he goes, the team's hitting 229 on the year so far, and he's like, but the white guys are hitting under 200. Let's go, guys, get into shape. People were commenting like, what? It was just kind of a weird thing to say. I don't think he was trying to be rude to any racial group in particular. It's just kind of an old guy, and he's just seeing, the white guys not doing their part, not hitting, except for DJ LeMahieu, who's not a moron. But oh man, offense is looking more like the 2013 Yankees than the Sluggers of last year. Thankfully, the injured cavalry is not a bunch of old guys. Tough start. We're not jumping off the bandwagon, obviously, but we might jump off the Gleyber Torres bandwagon if something doesn't change in the coming months. His defense is inconsistent. He hit very well the first 60 games of his career. Obviously, he got hurt midseason. I hope he rights this ship. Oh shit, that was me. Oh man, I posted that actually it was before yesterday's game, I think. Yeah, I posted that when they were 2-3. I mean, it was kind of a concern, as he came back from injury midway through the year and just consistently not looking real, especially at the plate, like the hitter that he was before. And then he kind of showed light in September. He hit the record-setting home run, the home run that gave the Yankees the most home runs in a season. That was his home run. But it's just and then he had a tough start to the year, had a few hits in the first couple of games, but nothing hard contact. Today he was ripping the ball. 4 for 4, double, 2 home runs. Single was like ripped through a shift. So like all four hits were pretty much crushed. Pitches up in the zone, down in the zone. I noticed the pitch location on the 2 home runs. One down and in that he almost golfed out, and then one up at like the top of his chest. That was a bomb. Oh, it was beautiful. Oh man, so that was a really good sign. Just Gleyber Torres alone made me feel a lot better. What a disastrous start from Paxton. Don't know if this current Yankees team is capable of scoring 4 runs. Oh wait, that was me too. Oh man, I mean, it gotten really bad. I don't mean the 2019 Yankees. I just meant the current lineup that they're putting out there without, until guys come back, because at least Hicks and Giancarlo are going to be back relatively soon. So you have that going for you, and there are some positives to take away. Gary Sanchez, I think, is looking very good hitting the ball. He's got 4 errors already. A little unfortunate, but a couple of throwing ones I felt like were 50-50 on whether or not they could have actually been given on to him. But we're not really concerned about him throwing. He's got a good arm. That's pretty apparent. But Gary Sanchez looking good. Gleyber Torres, all of a sudden, one of the Yankees, with one great game. Now he's been the Yankees' best hitter on the year, arguably. 357 batting average. He brought up his batting average more than 100 points today. That was very nice. Aaron Judge scuffling a little bit, but not concerned even slightly. Brett Gardner 200. That was at 0 before Monday. Or no, actually, no, that's not true. He got 1 hit on Sunday. But tough sledding for him. Tough sledding for Luke Voit, but he does have 2 big 3-run bombs now, 6 RBIs. DJ LeMahieu, not a moron, hitting 400. Looking pretty competent defensively at third base too. Hadn't really seen him play third much, so you heard that they were talking about using him as a utility guy, but he hadn't really done it too much with Colorado. So wasn't sure how much of it was legitimate. Obviously, injuries. Especially to Andujar, really causing him to have to show that. But he's doing a really good job. Greg Bird, he's been okay. I don't know. I don't know. I gave up on him a long time ago. I'll be honest. Um, Tulowitzki obviously out of the lineup now, but like I said, hopefully, we're getting a couple guys back. This offense is definitely even the guys that have been on the field are not this bad, and they showed that today. So and then CC will be back soon. Domingo Herman and Loizaga both looking pretty good, I gotta say. Their first starts of the year. Tanaka pitching pretty well. Kind of, you know what you're getting with him. The bullpen can't hard for the bullpen to sneak up on you at this point. But Ottavino has been awesome, and then I think the big thing, especially today, that you're coming away with is that Tommy Canley looks like 2017 Tommy Canley, and at that point, I mean, even without Betances, who will be back very soon, it seems like they're saying mid-April for him, so he might be. It'll probably be Sabathia back first, and then Betances, and then hopefully Stanton or Hicks. Not too far after that, or Stanton's back earlier. But I'm still, I'd like to get more of an update on him. J Happ had a rough first start, but it's okay. Not too concerned about him. He's not the 10-1 with a 2.5 ERA or whatever he was in the second half with the Yankees. He's not that guy, but he's a good pitcher. He's a good third, fourth starter. He's the fourth starter when Severino comes back. Zach Britton looks good, but really, just the bullpen looks great. The two acquisitions from Colorado, Ottavino and LeMahieu, looking really good. Gary Sanchez, I like what I'm seeing there. That's a big thing. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that it was Sanchez and Judge were head and shoulders in that lineup, and you didn't. This is before Stanton and Andujar and all these guys that emerged after that. Gleyber Torres. This team's so talented still. I hope they go on that hot. I hope they go on a hot streak sooner rather than later, so we don't have to hear from these crazy people that want to give up on Gleyber Torres. Everything's going to be all right. Yankees, even haven't, 84 wins is their lowest total since, you got to go back to 1992. It was the last time the Yankees had a losing season. You see all the guys in this team, it's 162 games. The best teams eventually get on a run. Obviously, the big concern, and I alluded to it earlier with the 2013 comparison, the 2013 team had guys that were hurt early on in the year, and it was Mark Teixeira's wrist. He's going to be back later. Curtis Granderson got hit by a pitch. I forget exactly what he broke. Something. But, he's going to come back. Derek Jeter's got an ankle issue. He'll be back. And, you're just waiting for the cavalry to come back. And then all of a sudden, guys keep having setbacks, whether it's on the side or during games. And then it just keeps building, and then the guys pretty much just never. Derek Jeter never really made it back. Mark Teixeira re-hurt himself after a couple home runs back with the team, and then Curtis Granderson got hit again when he came back. Crazy stuff happens. But that was a bunch of old guys, more or less. No offense to Curtis Granderson, he was arguably not old, but definitely on the back end of his prime, if that. But so can't take for granted, I guess, completely that these guys are all going to come back, especially Severino. Just I always worry about shoulders with a pitcher anytime there's a big shoulder injury, but Yankees are going to make their run. It may have started today. Maybe. We will see. But at any rate, they are 3-4. That's good enough tied for fourth place in the division. But Toronto is losing right now, 2-0 to Cleveland, bottom of the 7th inning. Thank God, Trevor Bauer saving my fantasy team. I've had a disastrous first week. We'll see on Sunday if I can at least bridge this gap, accrue a couple wins. But I'm gonna talk about that league on Monday. I'm gonna make a video. I was gonna do one post draft, but just sort of got busy with other things, and figured my fantasy team should not be the top priority. My fantasy league, although it is a super league, so I feel like you should care at the same time. So on Monday, gonna talk about the teams a little bit, break down a little bit the first week of our season, see how things turned out, and then hopefully some smack talking, or I'll just be very somber. I lost. I'm so sad. Also, I'm going to be writing a piece. Be on the lookout for that. I'm doing the worst losses of the 2000s. Obviously, the further in the playoffs, the higher the stakes, the more likely it is to be high on the list. But be on the lookout for that. Just finishing that up now. Probably have that out. My goal is to have it out tomorrow morning. I better have it out tomorrow morning, actually. But very excited. Otherwise, enjoying baseball. Trying not to freak out about the Yankees or my fantasy team. And it was a pretty satisfying first week. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, guys. And Matty Baseball signing off.